Hold up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have here our beautiful Black queen, the star of the iconic Bernie Mac show, Camille Winbush. Thank you so much for joining me on Jaymes Kickback.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, how are you doing during this time period of quarantine and pandemic and having to be different and have a different life at this point?
I have adjusted pretty well, I would say. I like being by myself. Like, I cherish my alone time. So, being on my own for this long has not really been a struggle for me. But I will say I do miss being able to see friends and go out to restaurants whenever I want. But it is an adjustment, but I'm okay.
That's good to hear. Now, where were you exactly around this time last year when the world started to become awry and go into shutdown? What were you doing and what projects were you working on?
I was actually in school. I was studying interior design, and that was going to be my next, career attempt.
Yes. That's awesome. So, where were you going to school at? Were you local in California? Or are you doing things outside of the state?
No, I was staying local. I like to be close to home.
Good, good. There's no place like LA. You're in LA, right?
Yes.
There's no place like LA. I'm right in the Bay Area in Oakland, so I'm just a few hours away from you. And
Okay, yeah.
there's no
It's nothing like California. We have the best of everything.
right here at our disposal, and everything is done here, and the politics are better here, and everything like that. So, Team California, if you are with us.
Yes.
So take us to the beginning, Camille. What was your gateway into Hollywood back in the mid '90s when you kind of hit the scene as a child star? How did you enter Hollywood, and how did you become the actress that we've known today?
So I was discovered by an agency when I was 2 years old. Um, yeah,
They knew
I
you
was
early.
in the audience of a talent show watching my cousin perform. And they saw me and they thought I was such a cute little girl. And I sang K Sarah Sarah for them. And they signed me right then and there. And my parents just thought, hey, let's give it a try, see what happens. And it turned into a 20 plus year career.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And now, do you think like young actresses today, do you think that they have to go through such a different process in trying to break through into Hollywood than you had to do?
I think it is a lot different now. It might, dare I say, be easier
Mm,
because of social media and all of these platforms where you don't have to leave home to get discovered. You can create your own content and put it out for the world to see. And there's just so much more spaces to be seen.
definitely, definitely. And I tell people all the time because I was one of those people who found it a struggle to be seen or whatever. But social media is a platform where most people are growing at this point. And so I'm with you on that. It may be a little easier than back in the day when you had to kind of give your mixtape to the guy in the back of the stage, you
Right.
know. So I want you to take us back also to the time where you were casted as Vanessa, the iconic role of Vanessa in the Bernie Mac show. So first of all, how did you get that role and how did you prepare to create such an impactful role like the teenager that was Vanessa?
Well, I auditioned for the show when I was 10 years old, and I was actually supposed to be playing a teenager. So Vanessa was older than I really was. And at that time, I didn't know who Bernie Mac was. I was still too young to have seen any of his comedy. But before I went to the audition, my parents showed me a clip of his stand up, the milk and cookies routine. So I was able to get an idea of who he was as a comedian and a person. And I kept that in mind when I went into my audition. And as the process went further, I was able to meet him and we got to vibe off of each other. And it just felt so natural.
Definitely. And I think what was so great about you and Kyla Pratt and some of the other queens of that time is that you all did not do a whole bunch of things to your aesthetic to be something that you were not. You were beautiful black girls that other black girls can look at and say, you know what, I may not be light skinned or I may not have this type of hair, but I'm still a beautiful girl because Vanessa is a beautiful girl. And she's the type of energy that I am too. Like, you know, you're that awkward black girl in that phase, but you're still learning your way. You know, and I think Vanessa spoke to even myself. Obviously, I'm not a woman or a girl, but those were characteristics that I got of the iconic role, Vanessa. So,
Yeah.
one thing that I want to ask you, Camille, here we go. One thing I want to ask you
I'm ready.
is that okay? So a few months ago, actually a month ago, you came under fire a little bit for joining the platform that so many other celebrities like Shea Coulee, Aaron Carter, Tyga, Cardi B, so many other people have joined this platform, which is OnlyFans, of course. Why do you think you got the reception that you got when you announced that you were going to join the platform as well?
Well, I think that people have a perception of me and who they think I am or who they want me to be. And when I kind of break out of that box, people are kind of like, whoa, what's happening? Stay where you are. We don't like this.
Right.
And I think too that because the Bernie Mac show is still um it's still running, you know, you can see the reruns that people still see me as this 14-year-old girl. So when I announce that, hey, I'm 31 years old, like I am literally a grown woman and I just want to show different sides of me, I think people will are not um, willing to get out of their own heads. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but oh well.
No, seriously. One thing I want to go to the Instagram post that you have posted right when all of this took place, and I actually admired it, like a lot of your longtime fans had, where you kind of cleared this up, where you said, "So let me make this clear: I am not broke or desperate for money. Bernie, God rest his soul, is not turning over in his grave. Stop saying that. Working in Hollywood has never been my end game. I made an OnlyFans because I wanted to, not out of necessity." Why do fans all of a sudden automatically think that when you join OnlyFans it's because you're broke?
I don't know. But I mean, even if I was broke, let's say, okay, I ran out of money, I'm broke. If there's a platform for me to be able to make money, what is wrong with that? Why wouldn't I use the resources that I have to make money? And even if I'm not broke, what's wrong with getting more money?
Exactly. Exactly. And especially nowadays, I think everyone is seeing with the pandemic and everything, you have to have several sources of income. Celebrities are still going out on tours because it's clear that everyone needs to be generating income, including them. And so, judging people to join OnlyFans, especially other celebrities, when you're not going to be doing anything that's going to be distasteful on there, you've made that clear on your Instagram post, correct?
Right. I'm personally choosing not to do full nudity, but you know, if I'm feeling myself and there's a little peekaboo of something here or there, so what? You know, who cares?
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I do want to ask you, Camille, really quick. Are you single, girl? Are you out here dipping and doing? Because I've never heard of any crazy scandalous stories of our girl Vanessa hopping out of bars naked, drunk, doing all the craziness. So, like, what's going on in the love life department, girlfriend?
I am dating someone. It's been a little over a year now, and I I'm pretty low key about that kind of stuff. I don't like to put it on social media because you never know what could happen. I might post a picture, we're so in love, and then the next week we're broken up. So
Right.
it's just better to avoid all of those questions. But my mom always says, you are single until you have a ring on your finger. So
Hello? Hello? No, everyone is replaceable, okay?
Exactly.
That's awesome, Camille. Now, one thing I also want to ask you is that a lot of people may have forgotten this or didn't know this, but you also recorded some stuff back in the early 2000s too. And you added recording artist slash singer to your resume. Any luck for the future where you're going to be back in the studio giving us some music?
You know, singing for me is a fun hobby. I won't say never, but I feel like if I tried to make a career out of it, it might take the fun away. And I don't want that to happen.
Exactly, exactly. And I will say the two songs that I remember from the School's Out soundtrack, they were great songs. Like I was like, why is Vanessa not giving us like ballads?
You never know. It could happen, but it would definitely have to be on my own terms.
Definitely, absolutely. Especially knowing what you know now. You grew up in Hollywood essentially, so you know exactly how this business works. A knowledge that a lot of people do not have and probably wish they had.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You have to keep your voice. That is one of the most important things about this industry. They try to make you into what they want you to be. So it's very important that you control your own narrative.
Definitely, definitely. Now, one thing I want to ask you is because you were a part of such an iconic show. What is some of your most fondest memories of Bernie Mac, even possibly post the Bernie Mac show?
Oh man, there were so many behind the scenes moments of him just sitting around and basically doing a comedy routine for the cast and crew. And then every day at lunch, he would order like these big family style meals and invite everybody up to his dressing room. And that just showed how warm and welcoming he was. You know, he didn't care. You could be a cameraman or a leading actress and he would break bread with anybody. So that was always really special to me.
Definitely. And it also shows you what being a gentleman actually looks like. Even when you have power and you are a celebrity and a well known guy, you can still have humility. And that's one of the biggest things I think most people remember about Bernie Mac. So it's beautiful hearing stories like that.
Yeah.
What are some of your projects you have coming up? I know you mentioned that you were in school for interior design. So, like, what's going on in that realm in the next phase of Camille Winbush's life?
Well, I am still in the acting world. Um, so I'm auditioning and hopefully I will find a project that really speaks to me because I'm at the age and the point in my career where I don't want to work just for the sake of working. I want to do projects that really speak to me and I'm excited about. So hopefully I will find something soon. I did do a guest star on an episode of Bigger, which was on BET Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah, so look out for that. And you know, I'm on OnlyFans having fun. So you can check me out there too.
Yes,
Um,
between them wallets.
yeah, bring those coins.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, one of the last questions, actually, the last question I have for you is that here on James's Kickback, I want to always have a moment of outreach for anyone who's watching that want a career similar to yours or looking at you as inspiration. What can you tell any young Black actresses trying to make it into this industry in 2021 when they have to go against things like social media girls and Instagram and what that looks like and having to go through surgeries and things like that. What can you tell some of those Black girls who haven't done those things but feel discouraged and don't really know how else to get into Hollywood without doing those things?
Well, I would say one of the most important things is to have a good support system behind you because you have to have people in your corner that will lift you up when the industry beats you down. You have to be prepared to hear a lot of no's, but when you get that yes, it will be so worth it and you will feel so proud of yourself for hanging in there and staying passionate and true to yourself. Like, if somebody tells you, oh, you can get a role if you got a nose job, then they're not for you. Don't let anybody change who you are. Just stay confident in yourself and stay the course. Just keep going.
Definitely. Camille Winbush, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here on James's Kickback. My show just got upgraded. Just got upgraded. So
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
absolutely. Now, next time I'm in LA, I'm gonna DM you and be like, "Girl, my nail just broke. I need somebody to go to the nail salon with me. Are you available?"
Oh, yes. I got all the spots lined up. Let's go.
Yes, sis. Thank you so much. And I'm going to leave all of her contact information and social media stuff in the description below and all of that stuff so you can go and follow our dear sister, Camille Winbush. Take care, Camille.
Thank you.
Hold up.